Well, I'm 36. I'm a single mom, although I have a partner, a really wonderful partner, but um, I live in my own home with my daughter, so that can be challenging at times. I work at a nonprofit organization, the same as Safe Families, so that's kind of something close to my heart as well. When Haley was 2.5, we started having a lot of issues where behavioral stuff was starting to pop up. In fact, I think that I had lived in Winnipeg perhaps maybe 5 or 6 months, and one of my neighbors called CFS, and I got a call at work. They went and interviewed Haley at school. It created a lot of doubt in my mind about the kind of mom I was being, and it was all because, we'd gotten home later in the evening and Haley wanted like a cupcake or something. And I said no, and she had an absolute meltdown, and I think that was kind of the beginning of that stuff happening. And so, the neighbor called CFS, and it was just horrifying. It was just horrifying thinking that, I'm letting my little girl lay there and have a fit because she's obviously got some feelings to get out. And somebody called CFS on me, and then I had a file. And then I had to go into the office and be interrogated, almost feeling like I was being that was kind of the beginning of me feeling like maybe I'm not doing what I need to do for my child, or maybe I'm not being a good mom. And things kind of started going downhill from there. It was like, okay, there's the kid. I'm like, got my head down in shame because my kid won't get out of goal. That's all she wants to do. She's getting mad at other kids. She's fighting with other kids. I think that probably the first 6 or 7 years of Haley's life, her daycare file must have been about that thick, because she just had such an issue with other people. She didn't want anybody else to be better than her, or right, or maybe getting something that she didn't get. She always had this fear of missing out on something. And so it has been very hard for her to keep friends, but for me too as well. So Safe Families, I remember we were having, we had huge team meetings at Haley's school all the time. And we had a meeting in particular, I think there must have been about 10 people that worked at the school there. So I'm telling this story in the school meeting, and Ken, who was the school social worker at the time, and he's not anymore, bless his heart, he really saw something in Haley, and he always tried to support us. I could text him at 9 o'clock on a Friday night and just say, what do? I am losing my mind tonight. And he would just offer me words of encouragement. He would tell me, these are the things we're going to do to help you. You'll make it through. So I'm telling him this story, and he said, I was having a conversation with my ex-wife. She was telling me about this organization that's coming to Winnipeg. I don't know if it's here yet. It just got here. There's something going on, but it's called Safe Families. And as far as I know, it's families that basically love your child like theirs. They'll help you short term, long term, it's very whatever you need. And they're really focused on that. So he said, I'm going to just try and find out some information and I'll get back to you. And I think Sandy must have contacted me within a week or two after this conversation, and I just couldn't believe how quickly it happened and how supportive and kind everybody was. Just the biggest blessing of my entire life. Dwayne and Rita and their kids just didn't even need time. They just loved us. And she was fairly regularly going once a month for a weekend, and it just felt like I wasn't getting calls. I wasn't getting I didn't have somebody who was stressed out because of Haley. I wasn't getting negative feedback. I wasn't getting any of the stress. It was totally designed to take the stress off of me and to support me no matter what had happened. It was just unreal. I still sometimes cannot believe that there is an organization like this in Winnipeg. And Safe Families was the only organization that you could tell was really led with love. Love was the first thing love was always the first thing. And I honestly believe with all of my heart that my daughter is as lovely and wonderful and behaved and just getting better every day because of Safe Families, because I had a place for her to go when I didn't feel like I could do it safely. And to see my daughter just as overjoyed to be able to go out to her family's home for the weekend as she would to be go and see her grandparents, to go and see her family, to go and to do something fun. It's not like, oh, I don't want to go. It's like, when and now? Can I go now? And, you know, they just treat her like she's one of their own. And I didn't have to put her in a shelter. And I didn't have to get rid of her. And I didn't have to give up my parental rights. Because now that my daughter's doing so well, it would just have killed me if I couldn't have her with me. I hope Safe Families never goes away. I hope they're always here, and I hope they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that we can find 10 or 12 more Sandys. I really feel like all of this stuff that we went through has helped shape her into such an independent, smart, strong little girl. I can't feel bad about that.